everybody, it's Angie and welcome to Hot and Flashy and welcome to my first testing foundations video of 2014. Now I did quite a number of testing of foundations back in 2013 last year. I believe I tested almost 50 different foundations. You know, I am very picky, especially when I'm looking for my holy grail. If it doesn't fulfill 9 out of 10 of the things of what I'm looking for, it's not going to make the cut and I am not going to like it. So if you recommended something to me and I don't like it in this video, please don't be offended. It's nothing against you or your taste in makeup. It's just that it didn't work on my skin. I'm starting to realize why there are so many formulations of foundation, because everybody's skin is different and I like sheer coverage. You might like full coverage. I don't like scent. You might love a floral scent. If you watched my videos last year, you'll notice that most of the things I tried were for normal to combination skin. This time last year my skin was fairly oily. I always had oily breakthrough in the T-zone in the afternoon, and this year my skin is very dry. And the reason it's so dry is because I went on this medication called spironolactone for my hormonal acne, and it is basically a diuretic and it sucks all the moisture right out of your body. Besides that, it is winter in New England. It's about 8 degrees out right now. I also use a lot of anti-aging serums and creams because I am 51 years old and it makes your skin sort of flaky and sometimes dry. So this year it's all about my dry skin and finding a foundation that looks good on dry skin. So if you have oily skin, this is not the video for you to watch about foundations. So in order to level the playing field, what I do is I put on the foundation alone, by itself. There's no primer, there's no concealer, and there's no finishing powder. So obviously the performance of any of these could probably be improved, but then we wouldn't know if it was the foundation or the primer that was making it last. I also apply them the same. Last year I wanted something that I could just put on with my hands and apply with my fingers. Since then I've discovered the blending sponge, and oh my goodness, how much I love it. So I don't have the original Beauty Blender, but I do have this Earth Therapeutics guy, and I applied all the foundations with this same sponge. It's very stained, but it's clean. I wash it with soap after each application so that it has none of the old foundation left in it. In the past, I took pictures of myself later in the day to show you how it wore. The pictures were nice, but fairly ineffective at showing you exactly what I was trying to point out. What I did this year is I decided to shoot the video of me applying it and video of my first impressions. Then I wear it all day for you, and then I come back in front of the camera 10 or 12 hours after I put it on and I tell you how it wore. And we're going to zoom in and get up close and personal with my skin in some of these. What else? These are in order from worst to best. So the first one I show you will be the one that I like the least, and the last one that I show you will be my favorite out of this group, and it's the one that I'm wearing today. I'm not affiliated with any of these companies. I bought the drugstore brands that I'm going to show you, and I got samples of the higher end brands that I'm going to show you. So first it'll be me talking about them, giving you the basic information about each one, then I'll cut to the video of me applying it, give you my first impressions, then I'll cut to the video of later in the day, tell you how it wore, and then I'll be back to wrap it all up. So let's get started. Alright, the first foundation in this round of testing, and therefore the worst foundation in this round of testing, was the Lancome Visionnaire. I didn't go in the store to get Lancome Visionnaire. The sales girl at the store tried to color match me in the tint Idole. She also tried to color match me in the tint Miracle, is that what it's called? She could not find anything even close to a color match on me in either one of those. She said that they looked bad and cakey and gross and that I should try this Visionnaire product because it was fantastic, especially for older skin like mine. So she worked again for another 20 minutes to color match me, and oh my god, wait till you see it. I can't believe this is the color she let me out of there with. Here's the sample of the foundation, and up here is the sample of the corrector. It is $60 for 1 ounce of foundation and a 0.01 ounce of corrector. It comes in 40 shades and it's packaged in an airtight pump. The claims on this one are, what if a foundation could transform your skin in 4 weeks? It naturally evens out complexion flawlessly and visibly improves pores and fine lines day after day. concentrated with LR2412, the active ingredient in Visionnaire serum. Now this contains denatured alcohol. It's the 7th ingredient on the list, and you know I'm not big on anything that has SD alcohol in it because it's just too drying for my poor old skin. It says that it may contain bismuth and that it doesn't have any parabens. Now bismuth, I know some people are allergic to. It makes me slightly itchy. Let's go to the video and I'll show you me applying this Oompa Loompa color and we'll see how it went on. Okay, this is way too dark. What was she thinking? I thought that I looked so weird and so orange that I thought maybe a little more eye makeup would help and some lipstick, so I went ahead and did that. I really don't like this. I don't feel like it really evened out a lot of the discolorations that are on my skin, so you can still see them through this. You can still see my healing pimples through there. I would need to put on more there, but I don't really want to pack on any more because it's already settling into my fine lines and wrinkles. It's clinging to every little piece of dry skin on my face. I don't even know if I'm going to make it all day with this one on. That's how much I don't like it. My first impressions were that it's a runny liquid and it goes on shiny. It clings to dry skin and settles into lines and wrinkles. The whole thing, it was just awful. A half an hour, 45 minutes, and I'm gonna have to take it off. I just can't stand it. Darling daughter said, "You look waxy, what's wrong with your face?" And guess what? It's giving me more wrinkles than I think I even have. The wear is unknown because I had to take it off. It made every slight ripple on my skin be magnified tenfold. It also settled into all my wrinkles right away. So I had it on for about 20 minutes before it started getting itchy and feeling really dry, like it was just sucking the moisture out of my skin. I'll never know what it could do for your skin in 4 weeks because I couldn't keep it on for longer than like 4 minutes. So that one was a total bust, and I'm so bummed that that nice girl at the counter steered me towards this stuff because it was junk in my opinion. Moving on to the next foundation. This one was Nars Sheer Glow. It is $45 for a 1 ounce bottle. It comes in 17 shades, and this one has an open top glass bottle that you just pour it out, but Nars will very kindly sell you for an extra $6 a pump that fits on top. Really? For 45 bucks they can't give you a pump? Come on. This one claims that a glowing, natural, radiant finish with sheer and buildable coverage that immaculately evens skin tone. For normal to dry skin, so that was great for me, hydrates for softer, smoother skin, and contains antioxidants. Alright, so let's bring in the video. Do I look really blue and green in this video today? I don't know what is up with the lighting today. Alright. Alright, first impressions on this is it went on really smoothly. It was really easy to blend. You know, no problems with application. Really went on nicely. Nice, dewy finish, not overly shiny, not completely matte. I feel like it did a good job evening out my skin tone. I would just need a dot of concealer there and a dot of concealer there, and I would be good to go. So far, pretty good. I'm enjoying this. I'll wear it all day and I'll check in with you later. Here's the full face, the Nars Radiance with blush, bronzer, full eye makeup, and lipstick. You know, it's interesting. I've only had this on for about 10 minutes. I haven't had this experience with any other makeup. It seems to be attracting every piece of dust and every thing from the air to it. I have got more like little hairs from brushes, little black polka dots, I don't even know where all this stuff is coming from. I haven't noticed this kind of dust collecting on any other foundation that I've worn. It's very strange. Bet you haven't heard that one before. So let's bring in the after video. The 10-hour wear test, I am not impressed. Let me come in close and show you why. Alright, number one, it's pretty much worn off. It's gotten very shiny. As you can see, I look greasy. Right, and my skin is so dry. I don't know why I would look greasy, but this is supposed to be moisturizing. I have to give it to it that it was comfortable to wear, but it doesn't look good either. It has gathered up in my pores and wrinkles, but it's like shifted around. So that one on the wear, I said it was not good. That basically, it's a dust collector. It stays tacky and it sucks all the dust and junk out of the air and attaches it to your face. I spent half the day like picking junk off my skin. It smears on the phone, and at 4 hours it settled into pores and wrinkles. It was partly worn off at 8 hours, yet it became very shiny. At 10 hours it was migrating around and clumping in weird places. My daughters, the 17-year-old told me I look greasy, and the 15-year-old told me that I had polka dot face, which is where the formula had settled into my pores. It had made them look giant and like little white polka dots all over the surface of my skin. And that's so pretty. Hey, look, there's a plus. On the plus side, it was comfortable and non-drying. That's the end of that one. Moving on. Next up is another high-end foundation. I'm so shocked that the three in the basement are the three most expensive ones that I tried on in this test. Pretty funny. This one is Yves Saint Laurent Le Teint Touch Eclat. Now this is $57 for 1 ounce. It comes in 16 shades and it comes in an airtight pump bottle. The claims on this one are that it is a weightless, illuminating foundation. It says the magic of Touch Eclat in a foundation with the added benefit of SPF 19. Targets shadowy areas and highlights the contours of the face. Evens out the complexion, enhancing your skin's natural beauty. So that all sounds great. You know, they all sound great on paper. And that's kind of why I picked them. I'm like, wow, that one sounds great. Let me try it. So I do. So there are no parabens, sulfates, petrochemicals, GMOs, phthalates, or triclosan. And it may contain bismuth. Let's bring in the video of me applying this one. And this is the color that the Sephora person color matched me with. It's always either too dark or too light. Why is that? First impressions, this is fragrance free. It's another one of these super highly pigmented yet sort of thin, sheer foundation. So it doesn't really feel like I have a heavy makeup on. It doesn't look like I have a heavy makeup on. One coating pretty much evened up everything, although it is too dark. Definitely a luminous quality. Yeah, it's not doing anything terrific for my pores. They pretty much look the same. It's definitely not settling into any fine lines or wrinkles. So as always, I will wear that all day unless I feel ridiculous like an Oompa Loompa in this color. So again, another good start. Let's see what happened. You can see it's pretty much worn off on the end of my nose and a little bit over here on the sides. Other than that, it's a little shiny. It wasn't bad. It has a couple of dry spots. It's got some flaky spots. Here on my nose. It's a little flaky around here. And it's a little flaky right up here. It was comfortable to wear, but since it's a little flaky kind of all over the place, I wouldn't say that it was terribly moisturizing for dry skin. Not long wearing, very shiny by end of the day. Some dry and flaky spots, so not really moisturizing, but it was comfortable to wear. My daughters told me that I look greasy again, and it's interesting because while it made me look greasy, but yet in reality it made my skin drier. So that was not a good combination. And at $57, it should do better than that. All right, moving on. The next foundation is the CoverGirl Outlast Stay Fabulous 3-in-1. This comes in a nice airtight pump. Here are the claims. That it's a long wear foundation designed to stay fabulous all day because it has concealer and primer built in. Smooth, even coverage with an SPF of 20. So let's bring in the video. It does even out your skin tone very nicely, but you do need a little extra spot coverage. Not shiny, not dewy, just, you know, kind of skin looking. It's a very skin-like finish, and actually this is a pretty good color for me. Very nice, very natural. I think the pores and wrinkles actually look pretty good. It's floating nicely over my pores. It's not settling into any fine lines or wrinkles. I don't feel like it's making my skin look older. It blends nicely on skin. It was not shiny. It was good on pores and wrinkles, and I say nice with an exclamation point. So let's check out the wear from a distance. Pretty good still. A little bit worn off down here, but otherwise the wear, I gotta say, is really good. The problems start when you get up close. From about the middle distance, I think that it's making my pores look really big, I gotta say. And can you see these giant flakes on my nose? Overall, not too bad. It's a little shinier than I would like, but it's not bad. But it was a mixed bag. It's long wearing and looks good from a distance. Up close, not so much. It wore off in patches, it settled into pores, had dry and flaky looking areas. My daughter said that it looked okay. So not awful, not fantastic. So now we're kind of in the middle of the pack. The next foundation that I tested was Urban Decay Naked Skin Weightless Ultra Definition Liquid Makeup. That's a mouthful. $39 for 1 ounce, comes in 18 shades, and is in an airtight pump. This one, the claims are that it is the best of both worlds. Light as air, buildable coverage, looks and feels like you're wearing nothing. A weightless, virtually invisible liquid foundation that creates a luminous demi-matte finish, formulated with light diffusing spheres, transforming you to look professionally retouched, buildable. Oh my gosh, I read that, I was like, this is going to be the one. It's going to even everything out. I'm not even going to know it's there. I'm going to look like I've been photoshopped and airbrushed. It's going to be awesome. This one does not contain parabens, sulfates, synthetic fragrances, phthalates, GMOs, or triclosan. But this one also contains some good anti-aging ingredients, which is the other reason I was so psyched about this one. It contains Matrixyl 3000. It has green tea, sodium hyaluronate, vitamin E, and vitamin C. So it's packed with great stuff for your skin. This is okay. A little bit did not go a long way. It is very, very sheer, which I guess if you're going to call it naked skin, it would need to be sheer. But as you know, being older, I do need a little bit of coverage, and I did put some extra on spaces that I needed some coverage, and it really isn't coverage. So with this one, you would definitely need an additional concealer. Not full coverage over here. On the forehead, I think in general my pores look good. I think my skin looks nice. It's got a nice finish that is not too shiny and not too matte. It took a lot of product to get any coverage at all. It took work to get it to blend right, which was surprising for something that was so sheer. But pores and wrinkles look good, and the finish is just right. It's not too shiny and not too matte. So here comes the video of how it wore. I'm going to say overall this one actually looked pretty good most of the day. It was pretty comfortable to wear. Redness is back. Redness is back. Spots you can see. Other than that, it wasn't fantastic. It wasn't awful. I'm a little disappointed in this one in particular. This one was comfortable to wear. It felt moisturizing. The finish stayed the same, so it didn't get shiny, but it didn't really look overly drying overall. It was not long wearing though. Pores and wrinkles weren't magnified, and it didn't settle into them. And the daughter said that I looked like me. That one was okay, not a total loss, but wasn't amazing like I thought it was going to be. I certainly did not look professionally retouched. It didn't really blur anything. It was nice, but it was so sheer that it didn't help. Okay, so second to the top was Revlon ColorStay makeup for normal to dry skin. And I was so surprised to see at the drugstore a makeup that actually gave you the option of buying a formula for dry skin or for oily skin. So this is, as I said, the dry skin formula. All right, this is $11.99 for 1 ounce. It comes in 12 shades, and it has an open top glass bottle, which you know I don't like. Okay, the claims on this one are that it's long wearing coverage with lightweight formula that won't cake, fade, or rub off. Time release technology to continuously provide hydration and an SPF of 15. It has flower extracts, vitamin E, retinol, and it also has parabens, and it may contain bismuth. So here's the video of me applying. I'll just spread it around with the damp sponge. Okay, why don't we come on in close and take a look. In general, I like the finish on it. I gotta say, it's kind of nice. It's a along the range of mattiness that I like. You know, I don't like anything super shiny or super glowy because I feel like at my age it really accentuates the fine lines and wrinkles. I think it did a pretty good job of disguising my pores. I think my skin looks nice and smooth. I really had to go back in and be careful with the blending. This is already kind of settling into one of my fine lines, which is right here. For now, I'm going to give it a 50-50. It's okay. We'll see how it wears for the rest of the day. It took double the amount to cover the face, but coverage was still sheer, so it wasn't really buildable. It was a good finish for me, more matte than luminous. But where it settled into the wrinkles, it was just like this one over here, and then I just like rubbed it out, and then it didn't settle in again. All right, so let's go to the wear video. Let's come in close. And on this one, I wrote that it looked good from a distance all day, but it was not particularly moisturizing. And it wasn't great close up either. It lived up to its claims of being lightweight and that it wouldn't cake, fade, or rub off, because it didn't. It didn't come off on my phone, and it was very long wearing. But it did create some flakes in some areas. So I think I had a big flake on my nose, I had some flakes down here on my chin, some flakes on my forehead. So while this is specifically for normal to dry skin, it was not very hydrating, and I found that to be pretty disappointing about it. But the kids said that it looked nice, and so that was that one. All right, on to the winner, and the number one makeup for this round of makeup testing. This one was the Bourjois Healthy Mix. This is $15 for 1 ounce. It comes in 6 shades, and it's in an airtight pump container. Now, this is not available in stores here in the US. I had to order this, and I got this one from ASOS. They had free shipping both ways, so if I wanted to return it, I could get it back to where it came from for free, which is great. Now, the claims on this one, it says 70% more radiance, flawless complexion for up to 16 hours, hydrated and luminous skin. Contains apricot for radiance, melon for hydration, and apple to protect skin's youth. Enriched with crystalline pigments to give you an even complexion and a healthy glow. This contained vitamin E, but it also had denatured alcohol, which was 11th on the ingredient list, so not terribly high, but still it's in there. And it also had no parabens. So let me bring in the video. All right, so first impression, it flowed on really, really nicely. It's super highly pigmented, yet a light formulation. One little coat did everything I needed it to do. The coverage is really nice. It's not totally shiny and radiant. It's not totally matte either. It gives a nice, very subtle, light reflective finish, but not so that it's accentuating lines and wrinkles. I didn't have really any settling in fine lines and wrinkles. And my first impressions on this one were that it was easy to apply. It blends smoothly. It's sheer but highly pigmented. It evens out skin tone. It dries to a soft, non-tacky finish. It was semi-matte with no shine. Pores and wrinkles were minimized, and there was no settling in wrinkles or pores. Let's go to the 10-hour wear test. It's a little flaky right over here. The wear was very good, and I really like it. It was comfortable, not drying, and I had very little flaking. It had no creasing or settling for the entire day. The daughter test was really the clincher for me. Without even having to ask, I just walked in the room, and my 17-year-old, the super critical one, said, "I like your makeup. It looks creamy." And I was like, wow. Later the same day, my husband walked into my office, and he was like, "Hey, nice makeup. You look healthy." Based on the fact that completely unsolicited, my family noticed, but not in a bad way, that I was wearing makeup and told me that I looked nice. So all in all, I think the Bourjois Healthy Mix is the winner this time. Those were the 7 foundations that I tested in this round. I was surprised that some of the more expensive foundations were really awful on me this time. I was expecting, after the testing that I did last year, that I would never find a drugstore foundation that I liked. And actually, the drugstore foundations in here were sort of the better ones. And in this testing, a lot of the high-end ones really stunk. Now, I know people are going to ask me, does this replace things that are closest to my holy grail? The answer is no. It does not replace my Estee Lauder Invisible Fluid or Double Wear Light or the IT Cosmetics Celebration Foundation that I found last year and love so much. I think for this winter where my skin is terribly dry, this is fine. I like the Bourjois Healthy mix, but since it does have denatured alcohol in it, I probably won't reach for it as often as I do the other two. There are some other formulations I wanted to try, but I didn't want this video to go on forever and ever, so I think 7's enough for one video. So that's it. Thanks for watching, everybody, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.